Today, we're making a classic Filipino dish called Lumpiang Sariwa. And in English, we can call this as fresh vegetable spring rolls. What makes this very special is that we're making our own lumpia wrapper. We're not going to use the store-bought ones. My mom has cooked for us, her family, all her life, until one day, Alzheimer's disease took away all her recipes, but not in my heart. Sharing her simple yet delicious recipes to all. Ma, this is for you. So to start, we need the following vegetables. This is a sweet potato or camote in Tagalog. We just need one piece. Okay, and then this is bean sprouts. This is just a bunch worth 10 pesos or toge as we call it in Tagalog. Okay, and then next we have green beans. Okay, this is also called green beans in a Filipino language, and these are also very cheap and with no measurements. After a few minutes, we cut it up like this. The camote or sweet potato, we slice it into matchstick, and this one, the green beans, we slice it diagonally into small pieces. And the toge, we just wash this off. This is optional. I still have tofu from my recipe the other day. And I'm going to just fry this. Okay, on both sides. And then after you fry this, you cut this also into strips. Okay, so that's how we're going to cook it. Okay, so after a few minutes, it has brown on both sides, and we're now ready to drain this and cut this into strips. On the same pan where we fried our tofu a while ago, we use the oil, and then we add some 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, and then after a while, we add 1 white onion chopped. Okay, we're going to just stir fry this until it becomes translucent. And then we add a tablespoon of achuete powder or annato powder. You could also use the seeds and put this in hot oil. Okay, so after a few minutes of stir frying, we now add the vegetables that we chopped a while ago. This is the camote, 1 small camote that we slice into strips or matchstick sizes. Okay, so this is how it looks like after. And we're going to cook this for about a minute. And then after the camote is cooked, we now add the green beans that we slice diagonally in small pieces. So we're just going to stir fry our veggies. Okay, next, the toge or the bean sprouts. Okay, we'll just mix this all together. So the achuete powder will give a nice color to our veggies. Okay, so it's time to season our veggies. We now put a tablespoon of oyster sauce. Okay, so we'll mix the oyster sauce together with all the vegetables that we stir fry a while ago. Okay, so after stir frying this very well, we now add our tofu or the tokwa that we also slice into strips. Okay, we'll just add this there. Okay, and now our veggies are cooked. We need to transfer it to cool down on a big plate. We need to cool this down because later on we will wrap this on a lumpia wrapper. So it needs to be on a room temperature. While the vegetables are cooling down, let's now prepare our batter for the lumpia wrapper. So we'll just mix this all together. That's 1 cup of flour and then 1/2 cup of cornstarch. Okay, the next 2 pieces of eggs. Okay, we're now ready to add our next ingredient, which is 1 3/4 cup of water. Yan. So the recipe for the batter of lumpia is very easy and cheap. So it is really very delicious to make your own wrapper than buying the dry ones in the market. Okay, so we'll just whisk this all together and remember to let it sit for about 15 minutes before using it. Meanwhile, on a large pot, let's heat the following. This is for our lumpia sauce. We need 2 cups of water and then 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then we also need 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. So all these ingredients, we'll just mix this all together using a wire whisk and then boil it until it thickens. While we wait for our sauce to thicken, let's now pound some peanuts. Okay, this is for the garnishing of the lumpia later on. Also, let's wash some greens. This is romaine lettuce, but you can also use curly lettuce. Okay, and then this is garlic toasted, which is also good for the lumpia recipe. Back to our lumpia sauce. As you can see, the sauce has thickened and you can see that it is glossy. So when you reach this kind of consistency, you can put out the fire and set it aside. Okay, for our lumpia wrapper, let's now cook our batter. We need Teflon for this procedure, a non-stick pan. Okay, and then I brush it up with just a little oil so that it won't stick. Okay, and I just poured. This is around 1/4 cup. I use a measuring cup of 1/4, and you just swirl the batter around. Okay, so this will just take a few seconds and then it will be cooked. So it's up to you if you want the wrapper to be thick or to be thin. It's up to you. Okay, so as you can see, when the edges of the batter is drying up, that is the time where you can flip it on the other side very carefully. Also, if the middle part is already dry, then you can flip it off so that it will cook on the other side. Also, an important tip while cooking the batter, the fire or the heat should be at its lowest. Okay, so that you will not burn the batter. Okay, at this point, we will now assemble our lumpiang sariwa. Okay, or our vegetable spring rolls. So we put our romaine lettuce at the middle. So this is just one way of presenting your lumpia wrapper. Okay, so you just tuck it tight and then roll it. Okay, so remember not to put too much of the vegetable filling inside so that it will not get destroyed, the wrapper. Okay, and then just fold it like this. Okay, so another version is that you can put the leaf outside. So after rolling our lumpia wrapper, we now add the sauce at the top of the lumpia wrapper. You can also serve the sauce on the side if you want to. And then we put the toppings on top of the sauce, which are the peanuts that we grounded a while ago and the toasted garlic. Okay, so this will add another flavor to our recipe. I also put some dry parsley on top, but you can use spring onions if you want to. Okay, so spring onions I think is better.